J. Adams Marina Skate Park. This is such a fucking rad photo. Gyro, oh, he's riding SMA board. Fucking all decked out, fucking gold rector pads, color coordinated. Sick. But, yeah, here's my photo. This is a Win Miller photo. Win Miller shot all the original like Alva ads in the 70s. This was like a cement half pipe this guy Steve Open had in the Palisades. This was like my favorite summer, dude. The magazine went out of business, Skateboarder magazine, and I think that just caused most of the companies to go out of business. And one day I woke up and skateboarding was dead. I had nowhere to go. I didn't have nobody to skate with. It was kind of like a low point in my life. I was like in the 7th grade. I wasn't getting good grades. Me and my dad weren't getting along, and I became kind of self-destructive. You know, skateboarding was my favorite thing. I was like, I'm going to show everybody, and I just kind of just stopped skating.
What are those kids supposed to do? Like, we gave this thing a shot, it didn't work out, the skate parks are all gone, they're all dying off, we can't make any money doing this. The industry's bottoming out. They already knew it was kind of a secular fad type thing. It was like, get in, make your money, and get the fuck out.
The park started opening in '77. And like the first one built, kind of cool, then it's obsolete, they built another one, you know, they kind of almost obsoleted themselves. By '83, they were all closed except for Del Mar and Upland. So by '83, all of them were closed.
I got kicked out of high school, got this job working in this deli. My friend Zane, he had a gator board, and I'd use it to go do deliveries. Skated a couple pools, and we'd go to Kenner School right up the street from my house. And then I remember seeing Trans World, Tony Hawk doing Japan airs and stuff at Del Mar, and I was like, holy shit, these dudes are doing crazy shit. I could never imagine.
So it was like skating just was back.
It was kind of on its little comeback.
And we kind of like took skateboarding and into the air, and it became trick oriented, and then all the style kind of like, you know, took the back seat. All those guys were like hot 77 through like 80, and they all kind of quit, and it was a change of guard.
You know, a lot of the guys got into punk and rockabilly and started, you know, their music careers and modeling careers and whatever the fuck they parlayed it into. It became artists. So all of a sudden there was a whole new crop of pros. Tony Hawk, you know, the last holdout from the original gang was Dwayne, and then he loses to Hawk, and then he went off into junkie land, junkie punk rock land.
Around 82, 83, Thrasher came into the picture, and they started doing their magazine, and it was a kind of a do-it-yourself type situation where people were putting on their own contests and making their own events and working with shops.
Once I got off work, I went skateboarding. I'd ride my motorcycle out to Upland just to skate the park there. And as at the same time, they started filming for Thrashing. So I was hanging out with Alva, and that's kind of like on the set. I met Jesse and Nodis.
Did you audition to be in Thrashing?
I guess I tried out for a part, but I didn't get it. I worked probably one day, like standing around with a dagger like vest on, but we'd show up in the morning, and then by lunch we'd all leave and just go smoke pot and go skate. And I started hanging out down in Venice with like Kelly Jackson and them on the weekends. There was a lot of rad skaters around here. Like everyone had surf style, and plus everyone had grown up skating Marina skate park, so everyone had like, you know, the little skate park influence and then the backyard Dogtown influence. Everyone around here was pretty fucking good. It used to be a little tougher. Like when I was a kid, I was like, you skate through here, you didn't know you're gonna get your board stolen, you know? The kids were bullies back then. I kind of miss those days, you know? Kept you on your toes.
In the mid-'80s, Venice is totally different than the way it is now, where it's all yuppified and it's like all like, you know, people with baby strollers. It used to be like, you know, crack addicts and hookers and Venice Shoreline Crips, and, you know, it was a whole different thing. It was super localized too. And then forces were like Block and Jesse Martinez and those people, and luckily a good friend of mine was really good friends with Jay Adams, so that's how I kind of came in with Jay, so I was kind of had like a past hanging out in the skate.
Dressen was welcomed into Venice because he was introduced to us by other people that remembered him and respected him, like Jay Adams, like HOSOI, who remembered him when he was 13 skating Marina Skate Park. They're like, oh, I remember that kid. He was the little white kid from the Who's Hot photo. And what's respected around here was that you're a real skater and you're not a faker. They were like, this dude breathes, lives skateboarding. And he's gonna show you guys how to breathe, live skateboarding.
He's a pretty quiet guy at first. I noticed he could skate, you know. I was like, well, yeah, this guy's pretty good. It was such a small group of skaters that we all just skated together normally every single day. Murray, Oster, Julian Stranger, Kareem Campbell, and Eric Dressen. It became a huge part of it quickly.
Well, Jesse, he was just a jump ramp king. I never seen anybody go so high off a jump ramp in my life. I seen him go like 18, I'm not even exaggerating, 18 feet and just method, crazy. And then there used to be the quarter pipe was right here, Julian made. And it was crazy. There'd be like 300 or more people on the weekends just watching people skate this quarter pipe. It was a big attraction.
They would go and like, you know, go to construction sites and steal wood and build ramps, and then we'd like have these quarter pipes. It was kind of cool because we could put them up against all kind of different like terrain and have one with like, you know, 10 feet of vert, or put it up where it just had a little bit of vert and have like something you grind on. So we had like a little skate park down there. We could just kind of like move the tranny around.
Scott Oster and Julian Stranger and Aaron Murray were going on all these trips with Jim Muir, the owner of Dogtown, and I was like, you know, it sounds like fun. Like, I think I want to ride for Dogtown. And I had like a little meeting with Jim Muir, and they checked me out skating, and I got on the team.
But when he got back on the board after his layoff, it was like he never got off, and now he's, you know, went from being the small guy to the small guy with a filled out frame. And he had power and speed, and he was able to apply his transitional and surf style approach to that. And I think that kind of gave him an advantage in the beginning of the early street skating period. We were the little company which started out of my parents' house, and we took over the whole front room and the hallway and then the bedrooms. And I think, you know, there was an inner confidence and a strength that they exhibited that they wanted to go in and show that, hey, we have this style of skateboarding and this is how we do it, and this is the energy we bring, and we're going to show you how we do it.
Yeah, rad, man. You own fucking Venice like us. This is your fucking town, bud. This is your fucking town right here. This is yours.
In the 80s, it was a little bit gnarlier around here, you know? Not as much to go around. And everything that Stacy was doing with Bones Brigade was top notch and top of the food chain. But that doesn't identify with most of the people in our country, in our society. What identifies is people who are struggling, ain't got it made, and ain't got the fucking silver spoon in their mouth, and ain't pretty boy, blonde hair, blue eye, you know, and ain't the kids that are sober, and ain't the kids that are not dysfunctional. So Dogtown, the underdog that wasn't financially on the same status as Pal Peralta, became rad. These guys were just the raw core.